Hey yo, what's up? My name is Tom Mizzle. You watching my channel S14, and I'm back doing a review of Real Housewives in Atlanta, season 14, episode 4, Big Apple Squabbles. This episode was okay. It was good. It had some moments in it, and let's jump right into it. So I ain't gonna waste your time. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Let me know you stopped by, and let's get to the business. All right, so Marlo is doing what Sheree has been doing and what Kenya has been doing. Rebuild a house or building a house. So she has a contractor. She's building a place. She's doing what she had to do. And she invited Kenya and Sheree to give their input. Give their input of building a house. So she's got the floor plan and everything. The only thing major that I saw this thing that she want to have a big closet space that's bigger than her bedroom. I said, you can't have a closet space bigger than your bedroom. You have a big closet space, but your bedroom had to be big. That bedroom looked like it was freaking small compared to her closet space. And the fact that she gonna have 3 different closet spaces, I would say, Marlo. So they was there, and then the only thing Marlo said that it was like bothering her was basically that you keep implying that where she get her money from. That's like a touchy subject for Marlo. That where you get my money from? People always ask me my money and my money. Sorry, y'all. Let me put here. Said where my money going on, and she don't like that. So okay, say okay, whatever. And I go keep bringing it up. If that's a touchy subject, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna ask about your money. It is what it is. But you do have been bragging about you making money. I come from money. I have money. This is the money that. So if you keep saying that, it's only natural when people ask, where you get your money from if you're not forefront upcoming with your money and how you get it from. Now I understand that it's not our business, but you bragging about it. So people gonna wonder and want to question, where do you get your money from? Now you're a peach holder. So don't try to act like you want to be all secretive now. You've been a friend of the show for all this long time. So no, you got to show up and step out and not being on the peach holder messiness. If you're not showing your life and you're not coming off and giving us the real tea about what's going on, your backstory and everything, why you have a peach? So give us something, girl. So they actually what Tyrone will come to New York because they all going to New York to see Candy's play. And Tyrone, like Sheree is kind of excited because yes, maybe he could come over because he could travel only within a 100-mile radius, and New York is in his criteria, and he has house arrest, so he can't travel so far, and he also has a curfew. So that's like thing. I said, girl, you go through all that stipulation with somebody who just got out of jail. Like you can't get somebody who's just free. Like you just doing all that. So that's that. And then they talk about Drew and how they said, what was that? The guarantee event, but they said the only thing about Drew, like she likes to deflect and let you over talk because they were talking about Drew and Sheree and I said the guarantee. That's Love Marriage Huntsville. Talk about Brooklyn's Tea Party and how Drew came after Sheree and everything, and just like she just like to deflect and like to overtalk people so people can get their words across. Because that's what she has been doing. Like she kept talking. Sheree said, listen, can you shut up so I can talk? Like, let me talk, girl. Like, you kept over talking me and not letting me to speak. And when I'm trying to give you a response, you kept over talking me. Like, okay, you say your piece, let me say my piece. And then we go back and forth. But if you kept doing this, how am I gonna get a word in? Okay. But we'll see how long Marlo go build this house because it's still in the planning phase. Not the planning phase, but it's like still under major construction. So it's got to be a lot of work needs to be done. So it's going to take us a long time. Right? On top of the house that she has now. I said, what's wrong with that? Unless you want to get a house and build your own, which is nice. It's fine. But that's a lot of money. So, hey, you have the money. It is what it is. So Candy and Todd talk outside. And Candy said, no, Todd said, when you like make the guys come, because at the end it's a play about the guys. So were you willing to have the guys come? And she said, that's a good idea. So let's bring them. You can write them because he said, "Can I ask Ralph and can I ask Aaron and everything come?" And they said, "Yeah, to come." But Candy also did say that when they ladies asked you, "Is this going to be a girls' trip, or we could bring our husbands on dates and everything?" She said, "If you have a date, you have someone you could bring them." So Kenya was standing right there when she heard it, but she said now she missed the memo because she didn't realize that it's supposed to be bringing a couple trip. It's not really a couple trip, but she said if you have a partner, you can bring a partner, and that's what it is. Basically, it's open to everyone, not just the ladies. So they talk about that, and then they talk about this condo that Todd's had because he excited because he said, "Listen, when we in New York, instead of getting everything, we have a condo you can stay in. We gotta fix it up. Once we fix it up, then it's be us." And get excited about it. It's my hometown. We got a condo and everything. She said, "I don't know, because when I go to New York, all I want to like to do is just get in a hotel, stand around and everything, and chill out, and not even worry about going to New Jersey." And no, the reason why the part of it is that it's not so much of him having his own condo. It's the fact that she has had the thought in her mind that that condo was shared by him, and his ex. And so because the condo was shared by him and his ex, even though the ex is no more in the picture, and she's gone and he owns the condo, she's not too thrilled, excited, and seeing that because she said, if I come to New York, I don't want to go travel to New Jersey, then just go and get in a hotel and I want to relax and out of this and call it a day. If I want to mess things up and everything, then clean it up and I'll be done. Not go to the condo and everything. So I do understand why she's not too jumping of joy. But at the same time, I was like, that's his, and she's out the picture from a long time ago. So at the end of the day, it is still y'all. Now, what it could be done, he fix it up. Now, if he's not there numerous of times because he's always in Atlanta, he could rent that out or Airbnb the place. It's like that. So he can make steady income coming into that place while they're not there. And then when you are there, I was like, why would you waste money going to the hotel when you have a place that you could go to with the kids and everything as well as in a condo? But I do understand the point that, listen, I just want to hear, we might be there. I don't even want to stay in this condo. Traveling to Jersey, Fort Lee, New Jersey to go over there. Well, I'm in the Big Apple. Nah, it's so much traveling. And then again, they said, well, you late night and drink. I think it was more so not too much about having a condo. It was more about the sharing the space with someone else. So that's my her real gripe about it. So she's not excited because that's the history behind this condo. And I said, okay, but he's like, this is excited for him because I always in Atlanta and I normally feel something for myself. Like it's always Atlanta, here, and it's all about you. But now it's my hometown, it's my place, this is where I grew up. Let me have my own thing and show in my side of light. And not always in shadow, because Tyler always feel like he's on in Candy's shadow. You know Candy is a big well name. So she's well known. And I know he's trying to make a name for himself and not always be Candy's husband, and he's doing these like just his ass. But I guess he feel like don't feel appreciated, or it's like thinking like feel like every work or project done is always accolades to Candy and not too much on what his contributions was into a lot of the projects. So that's where they try to step out from helping each other because they're always doing things together, and that's part of the contention in the relationship right now. Is that now they both doing their little side projects and they're not doing everything together like they usually do. So it causes little tension because now stuff might be put up in the head. What is he doing when I'm not around? Is he being behaving or is she behaving? It's back and forth with those two. So like I said, I don't understand. I don't really think that Candy and Todd are really gun hole and butt hurt about their issues right now. And I don't think that's really a major big deal in their relationship. Because I don't think that's really major for them to be really upset about. But I do understand when y'all always do it together and then y'all separated because y'all want to have your accolades. It's fine. But I don't think Tyler Candy storyline don't seem like it's gonna be that crazy like Ralph and Drew is. So like that. I don't know. I don't feel like it's really a big deal for them. So I don't know if they're putting up with cameras. And they're gonna like do what they have to do for the check. Is it making a full storyline like it's something issue? But it's not. But I do understand where Ty coming from about how he wants to feel appreciated value outside of just being under Candy's shadow and him doing him and this is the world. So live in the world that I'm brought up, and you can do the same thing. Be excited. It is what it is. So, should Drew and Ralph had a counsel session with Dr. Kent? Now, it was funny about this episode because remember, Drew said Anthony was on probation. So that means you're on probation, meaning that you not working for a couple of days, not in the pay. It's like a slight suspicion. Suspension. It's like that. Not suspicious. Suspension. It's like that. And you get home, a couple of days, you're not working, all that stuff. But he's in the still the house, and a producer put on probation under next to his name as assistant number 2, Anthony on probation, but he's still working. So what's your definition of probation? So she's saying her husband working in the tech field and everything, and it's kind of thing. Traditions like you get a little warning, and they'll act up, then you let them go. So he's not like technically suspending him, all that sort of that. It's just that it gets your act together. I said that's must be a good feel because probation means probation. You going home, and you're not working till I feel like telling you to work back here. Shoot, they paying up, so it's up to them, right? But that's that. So they had a consult session with Dr. Kent, and Ralph felt like he should have been appreciated and valued because it should have been living in the moment, and she kind of moved in the moment about expressing how she feels. Now, I did say in my last review about how Drew could live in the moment and not talk about things and let it be and enjoy it. But I do understand, like, at the end of the day, just because you gave this good gesture and you did this nice dinner, it's like you doing this so we can avoid talking what we have. And so you sweep things under the rug and not talk about it. Sweep things under the rug. That's what I'm saying. And not talk about it. So because you gave the nice dinner, say you had the candlelight and the roses and stuff like that, it means that I should just sit there and be quiet and not discuss what has been going on, and you using that as a way to not talk about it. Shower me with this grand gesture. Shower me with trips. Shower me dinners. Just avoid me questioning you of what's going on. Me avoid to have a conversation. And that's what it was about. He wanted to have this dinner and make it seem like I did this so nice, it's my wife and everything. But while not taking accountability and not being open to take accountability for your actions of what you have done. That caused for you to do all this. Just for her to make her to forget and not talk about it. But I'm not going to be mute even if we have a dinner to discuss some things that you feel like you want to avoid. No, we're not doing that. So yes, it's a nice gesture. It's a dinner, and I can live in the moment. But we can live in the moment and still have a conversation about where our marriage is going and where it is. Because we were sitting there talking about. Y'all still going through issues. So you did this because you can feel like she should be appreciated and valued and not to speak. And no. And a lot of people do that. They do this grand gestures to lower your guard for you not to talk about what is going on. And they feel like you are dampening the mood and betraying them before you bringing something up that shouldn't have been talked about. So they use that as a tool to not have you to speak. And you should be grateful. How dare you ruin this moment when I have a freaking steak and lobster for you? And when he told Dr. Ken that I had steak and lobsters for you and everything, and all she deserves is Lunchables, she don't deserve the steak and lobster. She don't deserve the steak and lobster. She deserves a Lunchables. And y'all remember Lunchables growing up when you had that freaking the freaking crackers and the meat and the cheese, and then you had the drink and all that stuff with it. And sometimes Lunchables could be the pizza kind, when you make your own pizza and everything. And you gonna tell me I deserve only a Lunchables? And I deserve steak and lobster because I supposed to ruin the dinner? Boy, if you don't go ahead, what I could do, I would freaking fire that damn chef. And what you want to do, if I deserve Lunchables, you deserve top ramen noodles. and you deserve shrimp boyardee. So you ain't getting no real cooked meal when we're in the house. Now my kids will get something, but you know, hey, what you want for dinner? Chef RD. What you want for breakfast? Chef RD. What you want for dinner? You better get the top ramen noodle because I'm not making jack. If I only deserve Lunchables, you only deserve top ramen. Or better yet, get some saltine crackers and just eat that. I will stack that freaking cabinet with all that crackers in them day. Don, get my shopping cart. Crackers, 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 crackers. They said, why you buying so many crackers? Well, this is gonna be his breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Messing with me. If I deserve only Lunchables and you only could get what? When he said that, I said, wow. Wow. And Dr. Ken said, like, when you had this conversation, my name should not be brought up. Don't worry about what I said, it's about what y'all talk about. So he gave them excitement was 30 days of not being compatible with each other, not arguing with each other, not attacking each other. I say good luck, because I don't think they would survive a day. I don't think they can survive 30 minutes without going at each other. But that's that. Now, when this constant session, Dr. Ken got me a little side him a little bit because I thought he was on freaking outside because he said, oh, you feel like she should enjoy the moment and this is that and you should say something. But it was basically say, what if something happened? He said, well, you some consequence that maybe you could do something which is like sex all the time. I said, hold up, is you really male sensitive going on? You must be neutral. But then she said, well, if he breaks it, then you can have something going on for you. I said, oh, okay, Dr. Ken, because I want you to get red real quick. I was all right. Because it looked like it was really one-sided. And yes, granted, they both have a play and a role in the functional relationship and marriage. Both Drew and Ralph. But they need to learn how to communicate and not attacking each other, not digging. But I do at the same time, you only stay when you're allowed. And they won't mention that later on because somebody mentioned that up in the episode when they're in the big trip. They only gonna do what you allow. So if you stay in and you're allowing this to happen and you're not putting your foot down, they're not gonna understand that you are serious about not dealing with these kind of bullcrap. But hey, that's that. So Candy said like she sent invitations to this lady's house. And basically it was two people from her Candy and the Gang show that I only watched only one episode of. So she sent invitations. It's just like when models sent invitations to the house with a laptop, she sent an invitation to each one in the house. So they will travel to these ladies' houses, get an invitation, an invite, and with a gift bag, and they say you must bring it and you gotta use it within the trip. And basically inside the thing was like a vibrating panties and some sex toys and some sex panties. It was a lot of things. So now they said, what was going on here? Like, really, we get the member, or is a play that we going to, or we going to a figure something else? And it did look like it was confusing because I was like, I know we was going to the freaking thing for a play. So Kenya said, why you didn't say the playbill, which is the booklets of the play of different things and the actors and the biography, the playbill of the play, basically, of the show. So she was critical of that. And I think Drew Core, Marlo, and I think they was talking this. I think Cheyenne called Sheree, and they was all talking about the thing, about the invitations, about all that craziness. So here they made up. So Handy said, listen, we're going to get there on time so nobody can miss the thing, to miss the airport or miss the plane. So what I rented is a Sprinter. We all could go together. We all go to the airport at the same time. And we leave in the morning time, meet up, go to the Sprinter, get there, so and nobody have excuse for missing this damn plane. That's how I like Candy with the assets. So everybody was getting the thing, and the king got in there. She said, hold up, I didn't know it was a couple's trip. And I get the memo. And then they did playback, and then somebody asked her, could we bring a date or husbands? And she said, well, if you got your partner, bring them. To Kenya, you were standing right there. So obviously she didn't hear it or she didn't want to acknowledge it. But now she said I could have bring it there. It's like, damn, I didn't know I'm gonna come and everything. So that's that. So they got to the airport. She said, listen, we're gonna get there that night. We're gonna go to see the condo. We're gonna first check in our hotels. Then we're gonna see Todd condo. And after the condo, then we're gonna go get to eat. And then the next day, we're gonna go see the play. Right? So we're not going to see the play that night. We're going the next day to go see the play. And they said, okay, cool. So they got there. They got in the hotel. You know, it's a suite, penthouse. And then they had an extra who go get the house, the penthouse suite B. And that was like upstairs, whatever, from Candy and Todd. And so the when that they had to each tell them their best sex story. And I hear about the airport. I hear someone about the oceans. I say about the pool and everything area and all that stuff like that. And then Kenya said something so wild that she said, the guy she just dated, like hunting. So they went to go hunt into the wilderness and there was some coyotes. And then like she shot one of them and then they would trail of blood and they would find the trail of blood to whatever it's at. And then all of a sudden they started having sex. And then they realized he wasn't really dead. I said, is that the best sex story? Or that's a creepy sex story? Because I don't understand. I was like, not even turned on about it. I was queered out. How does Ricky get close and turned on and having sex by coyotes? I was a child. So they gave it to Kenya. And everybody was like, what? And she got the room and everybody else get there. So then they was traveling to Todd's place, the condo. In Fort Lee, New Jersey. That's how I was explaining about how this is living his world. And he had to live in it and show my element, where I came from. And back in the day. So a lot of people understand what's going on. And Katie said, oh my God, like that's me. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm that terrible, this, and then, she's explaining about things. And they explained the issues that I explained a little bit earlier. That's why I feel like I don't think they really are upset and angry. They just had little tips. That's all. So they went to the condo. Yes, and the condo needs to be fixed up. And when Kenya saw that condo, Kenya had her construction hat on. She had a thick hat. She said, well, we're going to have a fireplace right here. We can open this up right here, open this space up, have a door right here, give it the stairs, and have an elevator. And we could do this. She was listing things. I was like, go ahead, Kenya, get your hat on. I said, oh, you trying to get a job and try to fix this thing up? Because she said she was on construction mode, building mode. She was laying on facts and things that could be done, things that be done. And yes. And I guess they all was explaining how Candy so much was about, not so much about him having this condo, it's more about the history of this condo with his ex. So that's what she's more hesitant about. And they all talk about it. And, Tyler said, Candy, how you feel? And everything. She said, oh, okay, what's going on? Yes, whatever. She's not excited. So they went to have to eat. And Saya was talking to her husband before, and she was saying that I need to worry about and think about a little bit about Drew, because she's saying now that you have a sister that's so messy, and how she saw how Drew was at the tea party, and then you have a sister that is so messy to talk about your friends. If you condoning that and you still allow that person, now I'm side eyeing you, because now it's like you keeping that company, you are the company that you keep in some way, shape, or form. That's the slogan saying, and you having around, he being messy, talk about your friends. I've got to look at you differently. Because now you're accepting that, you're okay with that. But you have an issue when it's come back to you. Don't accept that. So she's eyeing Drew a little bit now. And she said she wanted to know what Drew's intentions by having this guy who's so messy and talk about your friends. Or the people you're working with, or the people you're going to be showing the show with. At the end of the day, they're supposed to be so-called friends, but if you can have this person talk about somebody, a lady in the cast where you know you're going to be working with, why are you having around? So, I don't know. They was talking about how Marlo thinking that Todd, do you think that Todd might be doing something and everything? And on the whole thing about how Zion asked him, do you feel a little bit insecure? After he going like, she said, yeah, I feel a little bit. That was when they were Spencer when they were going to Todd's condo. Now they were thinking like, oh my, we thought they had a perfect marriage. We realized they had some issues just like everybody else. I said, yes, they're gonna have issues. Like just because they got money doesn't mean they don't have issues. But other than that, so they was at the dinner. They all sat down and they talk about some things. And they were discussing about the wedding rings. Now, Katie said she barely wear hers. Now, Drew said she barely wear hers because she said when she was wearing them at first, but when she started getting trouble, not trouble, when she was starting to see a lot of issues again going on in the relationship, and then after pregnancy, she just hadn't started wearing it. Now, Todd has his. I think Ralph didn't have his and everything, but I seem like everybody else had their wedding ring, the ones in the relationship. So they were talking back and forth, and Drew mentioned how they was therapy session. They had 30 days challenge of not compatible with each other, not being combative, not talking down to each other, not attacking each other. And they said, okay, cool, let's do that. And they said, oh no, I don't think you can last because y'all all taking time bombs. So when they discussed the things and how, and Ralph said, how do you get over things that something happened in the past and the person can get over? And they were saying, Kenya was saying, it's time and also reassuring behavior. Yes, it takes time. Yes. You don't want your partner to keep throwing your face about something that happened that it already happened in the past and they decide they want to stay with you and move on. At the end of the day, they should not never forget, but at the same time, they should never forgive you if you continue that behavior. Now they can forgive you and move forward. Doesn't mean they can forget what happened. But the only way they will give you a second chance and not keep bringing that up, if you reassure them that you are different and you're not gonna do that again. So your behavior after your discretions need to show to your partner that you are behind what you have done and you move past it. Or not behind, you move past or what you have done. And that's that. So Kenya self-talking, she said, you remind me a lot of Mark. Mark was doing that like that. You know, he was laughing. He was saying he didn't care to try and invalidate her feelings. She said she don't need invalidations. She needs someone to understand her and hear her out. Because when you do it, you talking down on her, you talking belittling her, and you kind of dismissing what she's going through. So you basically saying she's lying what she's feeling. And he was like, he trying to hear that. And Drew was like, I wish Ralph understand that when I was trying to explain to him, because he now Ken saying things that she wished that he listened when she was saying things. And then he said something else, and then Ken said, no, this is very rude and disrespectful. And he reminded me of Mark. Mark do the same thing. Kind of belittle me and talk down on me and think like this is that. It's crazy and you laughing. That's not right. Tomorrow was so damn, this is too much issues. I maybe should be just single. That's it. So they would say, what's going on? And they said, well, I think Marla or Sia approached and they said, well, you got to take some responsibility because at the end of the day, you keep staying. I think Marla said that. So if you stay in a relationship, you the part of the blame too because you are part of the problem if you don't check it and you continue to let this behavior lie out. Because it's one thing to keep blaming him for his indiscretions, which is true. But if you stay in after his indiscretion, there's no consequences, they keep doing it, then you are part of the problem by allowing this to happen. Because they only could do what you allow them to have to do. They're not gonna continue cheating if you're not allowing that cheating. Now, if you keep allowing it and you staying, like they said, let them cheat in peace because you're not leaving, going anywhere. But don't complain about it, but staying about it, staying in the same place. Or you gonna move action, or you gonna leave. What's up? She said, what is I'm doing that is not the same thing as that. You don't take accountability because he don't want to take accountability for his actions. You don't like to take accountability in your actions. And she said, what's going on? It's about the sister thing. And she said, well, he's saying that I have any proof of he said that. So Sheree brought on her thing. She said, listen, Auntie showed me this picture of your husband, Ralph, and Dennis, Portia baby daddy. And he said, I got more scoop later on. And she said, you may think I'm lying. That's what he told me that your husband is gay. And she said, who said that? And Ralph said that, who said that? Ralph, Sheree said, your sister Anthony said that. And that's how the episode ended. And they was poor, so they continue on from that. But I was like, yes, if this sister is going around telling you about charade business, it's not far fetched for him to say about Ralph about your husband. Now, I'm not one of the people who think that because I'm in the community that I can spot anybody who is down low or might be in the community. Because some people like think to use that instead of being messy people and to say, "Oh yeah, I know." It's like, "Oh, he must know the signs." I said, "No." Sometimes they probably want the person in it and not just saying it to be messy. So, Anthony, I'm not. I do believe that he said that, but you can't come around doing an accusation with no proof or anything to tell me that otherwise. It shows that he is in that community, unless you're being messy. And sometimes people like that be messy. It's only because they want the person. They probably turn them down. And so since they turn you down, I don't know if that's not happen, but sometimes that usually happen. Then you want to be all bad and figure come at this person. Don't put them things out there, Anthony, if you don't have any proof about if that's true. Now I know people been speculating on, so I'm not gonna speculate because I'm not that type of person. If this shows that he is in the down, we find out. If not, it is what it is. But you should be messy and talk about it. So that probation, if you find out some truth and this receipts is going on, you need to kick him in the curve. Drew, call it a day. Right? But that was my review of Real House of Atlanta. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. What y'all think about this whole dinner scene? And what you think about Kenya piping up? Because I was like, is Kenya getting triggered about Drew and Ralph's situation that she had to speak up and talk on behalf of Drew because what Mark did to her? Because we know Mark was a douchebag. No doubt about it, he was. But I think Kenya recognized it, so she was trying to hammer on Ralph the indiscretion that he's doing, like something things that he needs to work on. And also Drew, but mostly on Ralph. The laughing and understanding not taking things seriously and this thinking this bull crap. No, stop and listen. All right. So tell me how y'all feel in this comment section and everything, and let me know how y'all feel. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel. Peace out.